Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for the post position draw for the 145th running of the Preakness Stakes. I'm Acacia Courtney, pleased to be joined by Naomi Tucker. And Naomi, we're here at historic Pimlico Racecourse for what's now the final leg of this year's Triple Crown. It's been a very unusual year, to say the least, but we're so thrilled that we get to bring the final jewel of the Triple Crown back here to Maryland.
And then the current 5 weeks time span we found in 1969, and indeed we are rewriting the history books this year with the Preakness being the first time the final duel of the Triple Crown. In a year full of uncertainty, there's one thing for certain, and that's that the Preakness comes back to Maryland.
A special race to have here in Baltimore once again, and while it will be a little bit of a bittersweet type of year not having any spectators here with us, we appreciate you all continuing to watch and wager on the great sport of horse racing. Don't forget that you can watch everything from simulcast and on the NBC coverage on Saturday for the Preakness Stakes, and you can also wager from wherever you are.
Of course, our official wagering partner is First Bet, so go and download the First Bet app, the best place to place your wagers. You can watch all the races live from the app wherever you are, and you have an interactive interface that you can customize to all your own needs to pick those winners, Acacia.
We have a field of 11 three-year-olds lining up in the starting gate for this year's 145th running of the Preakness Stakes. We'll send it over now to track announcer Dave Rodman for the pull of the post positions. Dave?
Thank you, Acacia. The weather's going to be perfect on Saturday. Temperatures in the mid-60s here in Baltimore under sunny skies for Preakness 145. It's time for the post position draw for the 145th running of the Preakness Stakes. And aiding in the draw today and pulling the pills will be Coley Blind, our stakes coordinator here at the Maryland Jockey Club. He'll pull the pills for each entry to give us a post position. And pulling the entries, we have 11 entries. Jillian Tullock, our racing secretary here at the Maryland Jockey Club. So let's get underway for Preakness 145. First pill pulled, first post position is number 10. Number 10 will be Pneumatic. Pneumatic for Winchell Thoroughbreds LLC and trained by Steve Asmussen. This is his first of 3 entries in the Preakness with jockey Joe Bravo aboard. 8, post position number 8 goes to Max Player. Max Player for George Hall, Sport BLX Thoroughbreds Corporation. Steve Asmussen gets the second of 3 entries here, post position number 8. Max Player with Paco Lopez aboard. 11. Post position number 11 will be Live Your Beast Life. Live Your Beast Life with Trevor McCarthy aboard. For William H. Lawrence, the trainer is Jorge Abreu, number 11, Live Your Beast Life. 7. Post position number 7 in the 145th Preakness to New York Traffic. New York Traffic, post position number 7 for Finelli, John Finelli, Cash's King LLC, LC Racing, Paul Braverman, and Team Hanley, trained by Safi Joseph and the jockey just named Horatio Caramanos on New York Traffic. 5. Post position number 5 with blinkers on will be 1,000 Words. 1,000 Words racing with blinkers on, breaking from post 5 for Alba Family Stables LLC and Spendthrift Farm LLC, trainer Bob Baffert with Florent Giroux. 1. The inside stall, post position number 1, goes to Accession for Calumet Farm. Trained by Steve Asmussen, this is the last of 3 entries of the Preakness for trainer Steve Asmussen this year. Sheldon Russell on Accession, post 1. 4. Breaking from post 4, the filly, Swiss Skydiver. Swiss Skydiver for Peter Callahan and trainer Kenny McPeak Robbie Alvarado on the filly Swiss Skydiver, post 4. Post position number 3 is drawn by Cully Blind, will be Art Collector for Bruce Lunford, trained by Tom Drury Jr., the jockey Brian Hernandez Jr., Art Collector from post number 3 in the Preakness. Post position number 6 goes to Jesus' team with Heavy on Toledo, owned by Grupo 7C Stable, the trainer Jose Francisco D'Angelo. Number 6, Jesus' team.
9.
Number 9, Authentic, the Kentucky Derby winner for Spendthrift Farm LLC, My Racehorse Stable LLC, Matacat Stable LLC, and Starlight Racing. Trainer Bob Baffert with John Velazquez. Authentic has drawn post number 9 in the Preakness.
Number 2.
And number 2 goes to Mr. Big News. Mr. Big News for Allied Racing Stable LLC. Brett Calhoun, trainer, with Gabriel Saez, the final post position number 2 to Mr. Big News. Keith Fustel is our morning line maker here at the Maryland Jockey Club, and he set the line for Preakness 145. So let's review the morning line for the 145th running of the Preakness. On the inside, Accession. Accession, one of 3 trainers Steve Asmussen has entered this year, and it is the 9th Calumet runner, Accession, at 30 to 1, number 1, Accession. Post position number 2 will be Mr. Big News. Mr. Big News, trained by Brett Calhoun. Mr. Big News lined at 12 to 1. Post position number 3, Art Collector. Art Collector lined at 5 to 2. The first Preakness starter for trainer Tom Drury. Art Collector 5 to 2, second on the morning line, second choice of the morning line. Post number 4 to the filly Swiss Skydiver for trainer Kenny McPeak, the 55th filly in the starting gate in the Preakness Stakes. There have been 5 filly winners of the Preakness, most recently Rachel Alexandra in 2009. Swiss Skydiver lined at 6 to 1. Number 5, 1,000 Words, trained by Bob Baffert, one of the 2 Baffert runners. 1,000 Words lined at 6 to 1. Number 5, 1,000 Words at 6 to 1. Number 6, Jesus' team, supplemented into the race. Trainer Jose D'Angelo at 30 to 1 for Jesus' team. Number 7, New York Traffic. Local rider Horatio Caranas just picked up the mount. New York Traffic. Safi Joseph Barn at 15 to 1, number 7. Max Player, another Asmussen runner. Max Player breaking from post position number 8 here in Baltimore on Saturday afternoon. Max Player at 15 to 1, number 8. On to the Kentucky Derby winner, number 9, Authentic. As expected, the morning line favorite, Keith Fustel, has lined Authentic at 9 to 5. 9 to 5 on Authentic. Trainer Bob Baffert aiming for a record-breaking 8th victory in the Preakness Stakes. Number 10, Pneumatic at 20 to 1 for trainer Steve Asmussen for Winchell Thoroughbreds. Pneumatic breaking from post 10 at 20 to 1. And number 11, Live Your Beast Life, another supplemental nomination, trained by Jorge Abreu, one of the long shots in the field, breaking from the outside. Live Your Beast Life at 30 to 1. So that's a look at the runners for the Preakness Stakes with Authentic, the 9 to 5 morning line favorite, set for Saturday afternoon. I hope you can all join us and watch and wager on the Preakness and a stellar card on Saturday here at Pimlico, the Maryland Jockey Club. Acacia?
Dave, thank you. That is the field for the 145th running of the Preakness Stakes. Authentic installed as your 9 to 5 morning line favorite. John, a little bit more towards the outside. Naomi, we know he has speed, but Pneumatic, another horse who could potentially be setting the pace in post 10.
Yeah, well, I think, Authentic is going to move forward. And as I spoke with Johnny, and we'll see this later on, he doesn't mind just taking his time moving forward. He'll have plenty of time before moving into that first turn here at Pimlico. So yes, there's a couple of speed horses on his inside. I think number 3, Our Collector, has a very nice post to move forward and use his customary speed as well.
That is the field of 11, and we also see the opportunities with this unique year, some travel restrictions due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the opportunities for some local Maryland jockeys, picking up mounts here in the Preakness.
Absolutely. Well, Horatio Caramanos, the latest addition of the local jockey colony, picks up the mount on New York Traffic. Now, he was the winner of the Laurel Park meet that just finished, so riding on a high. And of course, Sheldon Russell picks up the mount on Accession. Sheldon came back from an injury. He had a broken wrist, was out for 10 weeks, but back with a bang. And then one of our 4-time leading jockeys in Maryland, Trevor McCarthy, picked up the ride on Live Your Beast Life. And of course, we also have Javian Toledo, who has picked up the mount on Jesus' team. Very, very excited. Draws post 6. And I spoke to Jose this morning, Jose D'Angelo trainer. They're so excited to be a part of this year's Preakness.
The opportunity to run in a classic now on October 3rd, a little bit later in the year, gives the opportunity for some other horses a little bit later developing as well. Now, Naomi and I got a chance earlier this week to catch up with some of the connections. We'll hear first from trainer Bob Baffert, who is undefeated, bringing the Kentucky Derby winner to the Preakness. We'll see if he can do the same with Authentic. And he also has a little bit of a wild card in 1,000 Words, who did not get to race in the Kentucky Derby. Here's more from trainer Bob Baffert.
I know it was a really special win for you for B-Wing, who's in Spendthrift Farm. Tell me a little bit about how meaningful it was to get the Derby for him.
It's funny, I was talking to his daughter Tammy earlier in the year, and I said, you know what, I think I'm going to win the Derby for your dad. But I was thinking 1,000 Words. There's no better feeling than to win the Kentucky Derby. Unfortunately, I wish he could have been there, seen it live. I don't know how he would have handled the winner's circle scrub there, but it would have been might have killed them, but that was something else.
That had been some of the questions, being back into mischief, some of the quirks we'd seen from Authentic about getting the distance. What had been the prep for him? Because stamina was not an issue at all on Kentucky Derby Day.
I never have thought stamina was a problem with him, and the reason is I really didn't have him as ready as I could have for the Santa Anita Derby. And he had a rough trip, and I sort of got him ready really quick for the Santa Anita Derby, and it was my fault. But for the Haskell, we had him really ready. But I told Mike, you got to keep him focused, because if you go back and look at the Sham Stakes when he won, he would have gotten a DUI if he was on the freeway. I'm telling you what, he was just everywhere. Johnny V just gave him a tremendous ride. He just waited, and actually Mike Smith had told him, he says, you know what, don't open up too early, because he will wait. He'll stop on you. So he said he was waiting for Tizzle. He says, I was waiting for the white face to come to me. And as soon as he saw him, he dug in. And, I mean, it was tremendous. The horse ran a great race, but Johnny, he rode a great race. I'm just fortunate that we did run the race, and back in April we were looking so strong, and looked like the wheels came off and everything was going bad. My ear was just up and down, and then Jimmy getting hurt in the paddock, breaking his arm, and all the horse scratching. I mean, it was just the emotions were just, it was just like I felt like I was in a dryer, just getting tumbled around. But and then for the horse to pull it out and win it after everything, after the whole year, and he wins the Derby. I mean, it's an amazing story, and I'm just really fortunate that it happened.
Seems like kind of 2020 in a nutshell right there for sure. And I hope Jimmy Barnes, your assistant, is doing well. He was holding 1,000 Words in the paddock when he did rear up before the Kentucky Derby. How's he doing leading up to the Preakness?
He won't be at the Preakness. He's going to miss his first Preakness in 20 years. And so, it was tough, and he'd love to be there, but he's doing fine. The horse was okay afterwards, so that was important. So hopefully, we'll get if you know anybody out there who wants to help me saddle that horse on Saturday,
Now we'll hear from the man that will be aboard Kentucky Derby winner, Authentic, Hall of Famer Johnny Velazquez, who's still chasing his first Preakness win to add to his astonishing resume. You won the Kentucky Derby on Authentic. The first time you got the chance to sit on him, what did you learn about him during that race?
Well, obviously, I did my homework and watched his previous races, and then I talked to Mike, and then obviously talked to Bob, and I was expecting the things he's a little quirky, and he has the things that he does during the races. So I was expecting a little more than the things he was. I was expecting he was going to do more than what he did in the race, and he actually behaved really, really well in the race. Other than the first jump out of the gate, he wasn't quick enough, but I didn't panic. I knew that by the time you get to the past the wire for the first time, he probably was going to be in the lead, but I didn't want to be rushing him to the lead. And the other thing, I'm not going to go to the rail either. I'm going to stay 3 or 4 wide, so those the horses have to come outside of me, and they're going to have to work much harder than me. And if they drop inside, I'm making it much easier for them. I mean, tell you the truth, everything I asked the horse to do, and everything that he allowed me to do it, he did it, so. And actually, Jeff Ruby's restaurant, like 3 nights back to back, and Bob kept telling me, just make sure you put ice in your left arm, like the baseball players, you put ice. I want you to have that left-handed on this horse. Make sure you have him ready. I learned a lot just by being on him the first time, and he allowed me to do the things I wanted to do with him, and he did everything perfect.
As you just highlighted, you didn't break out on top, but you gradually coached him to the front. Will the same tactic be used next weekend in the Preakness?
I believe so. If he breaks a little slow, he's fast enough that he's going to be on the lead sooner or later. He's pretty quick, I just had to smooch him a little bit, and he'll be on the lead no matter what, though, So, like he even broke slow. I kind of helped him for the first jump, and by the third jump, he was already on the bridle, and I had to slow him down so he didn't go to the lead as quick as possible.
Do you think Pinnacle Racecourse will help Authentic? Do you think it's a racecourse that will suit him?
To tell you the truth, even if it's not, he's going to run. I believe so. He's running, in 2 different tracks right now. 3 different tracks. Now he's handled everything they has thrown at him. So I don't see why not he will not do the same thing that he's done in other tracks.
Now, you finished second in the Preakness twice in 2011 and 2013. It's the only Triple Crown race that's still missing from your incredible resume. Does that make you extra hungry for the victory on Saturday?
Absolutely. Jesus, I've been chasing this race for quite a bit, and one of the ones that's missing, so you hope that this is it, that this horse is going to do it for me. So I'm very excited for to be there. We're going with a really good horse with a really good chances, and I hope he'll do it for me.
Well, they all have to get around Authentic, but trainer Steve Asmussen seems to be in with a pretty good chance this year with some strength in numbers. He's won the Preakness twice already with the Mighty Curlin and the sensational Rachel Alexandra, and this year will be sending out 3 into the Preakness starting gate.
Steve, let's start with Max Player, the only horse to be running in all 3 legs of the Triple Crown this year. The Kentucky Derby, the first start for you. What did you gain from that race? What did you notice from him?
He's an extremely talented horse. He came in great physical condition from Linda. Obviously, a little bit disappointed in his run in the Derby. Thought the post position cost him considerably. Just getting covered up early and way too far back to be effective.
What have you learned from him since having him?
Just his attitude. He's a very happy camper. He's enjoys everything you do with him. He's in a good mood. He's very relaxed. Really like, with the cooler weathers we've had in the last couple of weeks, he's just showing a little bit more personality, and he's a very exciting horse to run.
A pneumatic winner of the Pegasus Stakes at Monmouth. How's he been doing leading up to next weekend?
He was 4th in the Belmont. He came out of that race in good shape, but decided to give him plenty of time between the Belmont and the Pegasus, and as well as he responded to do that, chose to do the same thing again, which meant skipping the Derby and giving him a big swing in the Preakness. And he's put in very good work for it. Joe Bravo rides him back, who had success on him in the Pegasus. It is the Preakness, weird year where everything is. Run a month after the Derby and a month before the Breeders' Cup. Just very, very unique, to say the least.
It is for sure. We'll talk about a horse that maybe benefited from the timing, getting a chance to take a shot at a classic, is Accession, who we last saw in the Rebel behind Nadal. I understand he had a knee chip removed. How's he been doing coming back?
He's come very minor. Bramlage did surgery, came out of it in excellent shape. As you said, under the unique circumstances of 2020, he has allowed an opportunity to run in the Preakness. I think obviously his best run was when he was second to Nadal in the Rebel, and would require similar circumstances to have success, which would be them to go very rapidly up front, because he is a decided closer.
He has that late closing kick, and with 3 in a big race like this, where do you expect your 3 horses potentially to be placed in the running of the race? How do you see it playing out?
Pneumatic's a very handy horse. You know, he was on the lead in the Matt win, but he is obviously capable of pace. Went with Paco on Max Player to obviously try to get him more involved early.
How important is it to still have these Triple Crown races in this unique year?
Oh, I think it's the level of important it is that these horses are 3 once. I mean, they deserve this opportunity, and I'm very glad that the racetracks came together and made sure that the races were run. And I think that it's no fault of the horses involved. This year's 3-year-old crop, and they deserve this opportunity.
A tremendous opportunity indeed, and a big thank you to all of the connections who generously gave some time to catch up with us and give us a little insight heading in to Saturday. Every race on Saturday, Naomi, is a stakes race, and what a card it's going to be, of course, highlighted by the 145th Preakness.
Yeah, I mean, the incredible field that is lining up for this Preakness. We were wondering, is the Kentucky Derby winner going to come? Because obviously it's now the last leg of the Triple Crown, but Bob Baffert sending over 2 horses. Of course, Steve Asmussen, 3 horses, and the filly, Swiss Skydiver. I cannot wait to see her for Kenny McPeak. What sportsmanship shown, putting her in to hopefully become the 6th filly to win it, as you mentioned, since the mighty Rachel Alexandra.
Thank you all so much for joining us in today's post position draw. A couple final reminders. First post on Saturday, Preakness Day, will be 11 a.m. The Black-Eyed Susan will go off earlier in the day at 4:41 p.m. and post time for the Preakness Stakes is 5:36 p.m. You can watch and wager on the First Bet app or on firstbet.com. Make sure to tune in for the NBC coverage, and you can catch us on simulcast as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, guys. And we're so looking forward to seeing you on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.